You have to love the internet, don't you? Oh man. Yeah, we saw Fallout. I tried to watch. Um, well, yeah, Fallout Episode 4 Series 2. I tried to stay up and watch, the Beyond Paradise special, but like I said, I conked right out. I'm gonna watch it again today, and so that way I can enjoy the whole thing before I conk out. It's just after, even after 8 hours of work, I'm just exhausted. So, watching a long movie or anything like that can be a challenge, especially in the afternoon. Like I said, I love Beyond Paradise, but like I said, I was just so, I barely made it through the Fallout episode where you finally are introduced to the Death Claw in episode 4. And the Death Claw's been in Fallout lore for a long time. That's why I'm hoping super mutants are on the horizon and other things like that. But so far, an interesting storyline. Brotherhood going to civil war. The Brotherhood's been fighting with itself so many times over the last God knows how many centuries that it's no big surprise. When the one chapter went out east to the Capital Wasteland in D.C., you had a group who disagreed with Elder Lyons, because Elder Lyons did that evil, desperate, dastardly thing. He wanted to help the people. The Brotherhood's not about helping the people. That's why I loved Xander's little spiel, because I knew he was full of shit. Their whole thing is about hoarding technology because technology is evil, bad, and ghouls and other such related creatures are evil because they were spawned by the results of that technology. Um, yeah, That's why I don't even put Doctor Who in the title because there's no point. We're not going to be getting any Doctor Who news for a long, long, long time. And even then, I'm going to be skeptical as hell because you've got too many, backroom bandits with AI now trying to put out fake shit. And basically, it's something they, would do just before they go off into the corner of their basement, lair and touch themselves to pictures of who knows who. And yeah, it's not the same Deathclaw. I'm not sure what the lifespan of a Deathclaw is, but I don't think it's anywhere near like the ghouls, super mutants, and all that. If I remember right, Deathclaws were genetically designed as a weapon by the military, and that's why you have them running around. I can't remember how that all worked out. It's been a while since I've done the lore of the Deathclaw, so. Well, the thing is I love the fact they left the whole Commonwealth thing vague because we really don't know who won out in that instance. But if they're still around, then but also everybody's been going on and on about the Pridwin being in Fallout 4 and then Fallout TV series. It's like, is it the same Pridwin? Because if it is, and the Commonwealth chapter is in such a great bind, then where the hell is Elder Maxon? Um, because Maxon was in charge of the DC Wasteland thing. He took over after Lyons was taken care of or died or whatever. I believe Lyons died. And then his daughter, Sarah, who was supposed to become elder, died under mysterious circumstances, allegedly in battle. Well, yeah, it does pick up. You have to remember, in the first season, they're trying to get everybody into that world, so it does take a little while to get started. But when you reach the end of the story and all that, and you saw how many different layers there were to that story, it's like, I wouldn't trust anything coming off Reddit, Raj. They have nothing. I have no idea about any more Avengers Doomsday trailers. I did see the one with Patrick Stewart, Ian McKellen, and of course, they had Cyclops in it, and everybody's rubbing themselves in funny places because Scott's wearing the classic, iconic, uniform or whatever, and it's like, guys, you realize that's probably the only time you're going to see Scott Summers in that movie. It's going to be a big flick, and they're trying to crunch so many different universes into it that it could, either be great or it could suck. And that's the problem with too many stars in a movie. They had to do two movies just to get a lot of the characters in, even in little side things for the what do you call it, for the previous outing. Oy vey, Endgame and whatnot, Infinity War and Endgame. That I can't believe Saudi Arabia is trying to buy a U.S. company. It's not unbelievable. Heck, I died laughing because everyone was like, remember back when everybody was worried that the Japanese were buying up all the outstanding real estate in America? And it's like it turned out that that the British owned like 32% of the outstanding real estate. So it's like, yeah, they were buying back the colonies until the big real estate collapsed, and then, uh, I'd die laughing if Deadpool appears in Doomsday. That would have me in stitches. But remember, too many cooks in the kitchen can spoil the broth. So that's what I'm kind of worried about with Doomsday. Like I said, Fallout. If you think the first season was going too slow, give it to the end. And then series 2, like I said, they're trying to set you up for that particular world. And like I said, the history in that world is different from the history in this world, especially after World War II. Yeah, I hope everyone's having a good day as well. Yeah, I can agree with that. But as far as Doctor Who Reddit leaks, there's nothing to leak. RTD's too busy off with his new boy toy. Yeah, I figure he'll get around to writing the script about, after his, well, I ain't going to say it because that would be evilly wrong. Let's just say after the candy cane starts to lose its color a little bit, then maybe he'll start writing the script. See what I mean? The wind starts coming out of the sock a little bit. All right, because so I wouldn't put it. Here's the thing. I don't want to confirm or deny anything with the Oliver guy, but notice that he's everywhere RTD is lately. Doesn't take a rocket scientist to figure that one out. Or that lady from Hidden Figures, um, come on, there's going to be some shenanigans going on there. Especially with pictures of him as the Doctor on the TARDIS set, and he just happens to be everywhere RTD is lately. But hey, let him have some fun. Shit. RTD is the one doing leaks under Andrew's name. Yeah, I saw that little clip of Alex Kingston with the Comic-Con cruise. I don't know. Do we really want to bring back River's song for anything like this? I thought her story was well done. But it's like, please do not tell me he's going to be going out. And of course, there's the Tennant rumors, and I'm like, please, quit using poor David Tennant as a crutch. That guy is still too busy using other things. Keeps poor Georgia knocked up every 5 minutes. My God, I feel sorry for that poor girl. The way things are going there for a while, they're going to have to install a crank so she can just fire them kids out like a Gatling gun, you know. But it's a Comic-Con cruise as far as I know, so I'm not sure who's going to be on. But yeah, I don't think she's going to be back in any other program that she's been on. Alex Kingston, I don't know. But like I said, they are allegedly going to be filming soon. Allegedly. Nobody's heard anything about any pre-production being done. Nobody's heard anything about any, even photo shoots for locations. So until I start seeing that, or I start hearing about crews getting out stuff, ready for, the scout locations and things like that, there's been no casting calls. Let's wait a while before we start going on and saying, okay. Well, the thing is, he's got all the time in the world to write this, but I don't know. It just seems like he's procrastinating. If I had have found out, look, you're lucky, you're going to get another crack at this, then your ass should be already working on the processor, on the computer, whatever they call it these days. You should already be writing it. This way you can get as many drafts in to figure out what you're doing, before it hits the fan. But none of my sources are talking because there's nothing to talk about. Yeah, about another minute or so I'll be joining you there, Sean, because I'll have to be running in the building. But like I said, if Fallout, you just got to give it some time. And if you want to become more familiar with the lore, like I said, there's all kinds of videos out there. I watched the stuff done by a guy named Oxhorn because he's the best at it. He seems to be the best at it. There's a lot of other good ones, but there's one channel out there that's just pumping out AI-generated gibberish lately. And it's like, there's no way in hell he's writing all that stuff, because it's literally like every day he's got like 2 videos or more, 1 or 2 videos coming out, and it's hours long, which means there's no way he's typing all that. I think he's just using an AI program. But Oxhorn is the best because he actually puts time into his videos and whatnot. Yeah, that's another thing. Yeah, you got War Between is not aired on Disney Plus yet, so they've got that to get through first. Yeah, that's why the actors are scared, because pretty soon you won't have to deal with actors anymore. And everybody should be scared, because if the AI is getting as good as it is, and they get these humanoid robots down to the point they can do any everyday tasks, without any problem, there go your workers. They get auto drive functioning, there goes your Uber drivers, your taxi drivers, and your long haul truckers. So that's why everybody should be worried about AI. All right. Yeah, it's that time. You're right. I'm just past it. So take care, everyone. Please enjoy yourselves. Be kind, be calm, be safe. When there is any news that I've heard that I can back up with something, then I'll have it out to you. But until then, take care, everybody, and we'll see you again tomorrow morning. Hang on. Which button am I pressing? It's that one. Hang on.